Hello, what's good? Let me know if the audio is coming through, if anybody tunes in. I was supposed to do a chat with the brothers Blue and Steven from BG Cast, a little collaborative effort, but that fell through tonight. And so I wanted to get this kind of random video out. I had this interaction with this person today, and at first it was kind of fun, and then it turned really sad. And so I want to go through some of the comments that this person left on my YouTube videos and try to display some compassion. In my comments, there was some snark, but I want to go back through it, read my snark in real time, and then also talk about how I could have handled it better and send this person some compassion because they are clearly struggling. So let's get on over to the comments. Stop it. Get out of here. I don't want that. No. Okay. Why is this showing up? Oh, because it's, there we go. Okay. No filter. I don't want any of, there we go. Okay. Anybody on? Nobody on. Okay. This isn't the person, but they also left a comment. I was with you until you went off the rails at the end, bro. Anyway, the best way to try to get past this is to save a little bit of money very consistently with a goal, whether getting a place or a better vehicle or whatever. Make it a religious thing where you take a percent of whatever you make and save it up. Beyond that, I'd say you definitely need some therapy. There was a point in my life where I definitely needed therapy and benefited tremendously from therapy. But right now, I'm good. Like I'm good. I know I'll need more help, and I'm building actually a network of fraternity around me, and I'm thankful for that fraternity, and that's helped to me being good. Something I will say that tremendously did help me while I'm talking about wanting to find compassion was ketamine therapy. I actually last year did one of the official, legal ketamine therapy, at home kits, and I do think that leveled me up. And I would recommend you explore it if you're struggling. So speaking of, Twister Tornado, I triggered them hard. And I think what initially triggered them was like they said the very first comment they made. Let me see if I can find it actually. Let's maybe go back to the beginning and start at the beginning. It's pretty wild. Okay. I don't even remember. We'll find it. Show more replies. There we go. Okay, we're just going to start at the top. I'm sorry. Anybody watching? Nobody watching. Okay. So this is them saying on my video the best things about living in a van. Wasn't wrong about the stinking hippie stereotype. Washington, of course. And we had already been going at it at this point. So I just replied with hug and heart emojis. And then they replied calling me an online beggar. And then they replied again. OnlyFans girls are more honest than your handout beggarness. Begging ass. And then on my video, the hardest thing to compartmentalize when homeless. There is nothing stopping this man from getting a job except for a trimmer and a razor. Stop falling for phonies. The real homeless have busted shoes, and you can tell that they haven't taken them off in a long time. Don't fall for suburban scammer dude bums. In my last video, I actually showed my shoes, which are busted up. Um, so my shoes are busted up. Um, okay. And then, so this is my reply. You are literally why people hate progressives and voted for Trump. I hope you find some peace because your manic energy is evident. We'd already been going at it for a while. I'll try to find the beginning and tell you where it started. And they replied, I'm not a progressive, hippie. So they're probably a Marxist, a neo-Marxist, a communist, a socialist, something of that ilk, something left-leaning and hysterical. Then, so this is them again, just this is all them. I'm not a progressive, hippie. And then they keep going. You are the progressive, long-haired Portlandia hippie. You were not tricking anyone with your MAGA hat. I've literally never worn a MAGA hat, never even worn one, let alone in one of my videos. So this is them sort of projecting. So they keep going. You're just mad that I can still see you, but most people over 40 can see right through your shit. You are still begging and trying not to work because you want to smoke rocks. No one cares how you vote, bum. So I do work, but like a lot of Americans, I work and I'm struggling. I'm not alone in that. A lot of Americans are absolutely struggling right now. Okay, so then they keep going. Also, I don't smoke rocks. I do smoke a lot of pot, but not rocks. You do know that unless you have an address, Trump is about to revoke your citizenship, right? I really would shave if I were you. Um, and this is where I chime in and say this started off fun, but has quickly turned depressing. I feel for you. I really do. I'm going to disengage now, but I am sending positive vibes to you. And then a heart and a hug. So then they replied here. He basically just admitted that he harms elderly, homeless people. Like, where in the world did I admit that? Um, okay. So that was that thread, but there's more. There's more. So then on the hardest thing to compartmentalize when homeless, warning, do not ever give money to bearded American white men. He chooses to look pathetic to earn your sympathy. He has no accent. This is not cultural. And so that's why I think maybe they're like neo-Marxist because they're leaning heavily into the race element of this. Specifically mentioning that I have no accent. Like, that's kind of racist to think non-white people have accents, and there's something racist there. But anyways, oh, there's a number of replies, 6 replies. Okay, so then this other person actually posted a really positive thing. Not sure why this popped up, but I know in my personal fight with homelessness, the YMCA sauna has been a lifesaver. My blood pressure is chill. Getting to sleep is easy and reliable. A few years ago, I realized tyrants have no friends. It changed how I viewed relationships. I was being too nice to people I shouldn't be. Charity is important, but it must be given with love, not guilt. Completely agree. Voluntary, voluntary. Whoops, that's all right. Okay. So then, Twister Tornado on that person's comment. He is fake. He has suburban parents who support him. Listen to his accent. He grew up with a reasonable education. Do not pity someone who tries to look dirty on purpose. So, to be honest, I actually think I look pretty good. When I clean up, I look really good, I feel like. I just don't put a lot of effort into looking good all the time because my bandwidth is spent, trying to survive, trying to find better work. And I don't have suburban parents. I've never met my father, and my mother is like medically, she's super handicapped, and she actually like abandoned our family when I was 12. Um, and I've kind of been on my own since. And so here I say thank you for taking the time. Oh, I'm replying to the other person, thanking them for replying. And then at this point, I'm just laughing at their comments and saying you're really helping my engagement because, yeah, the more comments I get, the more hopefully views I can get. Um, and then here they go again. Did you think that a MAGA hat was some sort of camouflage? Hippie. They're very much into name calling. Yeah, you can get your shit together to get a membership, but not a job. Because I replied that I have a Planet Fitness membership. I have a job. This person should watch more of my videos. And I'm not alone. Like I said, I'll say it again. I'm not alone in terms of someone who works and is struggling. Most of America is in that boat. Um, and this is where I start, I call them out, but, clearly experiencing a manic episode. I am praying for you, is what I said to them. And then they reply, weird flex, when I know that you're not capable of defending yourself. I don't quite get that, but, and then they reply again, trust fund Darren. Why would the cops believe your hippie face without you telling them who your daddy really is? I have no idea, like, why the cops are being brought into this. I don't see anything. And this was before this was a really mean comment, but I had said they sound trans. Um, because that sort of manic hysteria mixed with the neo-Marxist race emphasis really made me think that they were trans. But I was wrong. They replied, when I get PMS, I tend to eat a big burger or steak or drink a bottle of red. What do you eat? Organic kale and goji berries? They could still be trans and just like caricaturizing. But anyways, your beard is very impressive for someone who was born as a woman. So now they're trying to call me trans. That's not the end of it. They kept going. And this is another person who commented. They had a really awesome comment, but I want to focus on Twister Tornado. He chooses to look pathetic to earn your sympathy. He has no accent. This is not cultural. That they did that one already, but they did it again, which I don't understand why like accents and culture matter when it comes to a class conversation. But that's the neo-Marxists. Um, they want to make everything about race and the intersection of all these variables and the oppression Olympics that I've talked about. That's what this is, right? So it's not let's talk about class, but it's okay. Let me get back to the more of their comments. And then they keep going. Should anyone ever pity an able-bodied American white man with a decent education because he has rebellious hair? You choose to not take work that would ask you to cut it. No one should cry for his liberal handout begging ass. And actually in all of these videos that they're commenting on, I didn't ask for any handouts. I haven't even put in my YouTube description my normal links where you could donate or buy some merch. That's actually was on my life list of things I needed to do. So I haven't asked for money. I'm just talking about my life experiences. But this person is clearly like unwell. And especially just the anger and the hatred and then directing it like at the American white man. I feel really bad because it's probably a liberal white woman with a lot of self-hatred that she needs to project out onto other people. But there is forgiveness. If you see this, Twister Tornado, still nobody watching, commenting, that's fine. There's forgiveness. You just have to seek it. You have to ask for forgiveness. But it is there for you. And then they made a comment about censoring. They made a comment about censoring. I said, I have done no censoring, but please keep commenting on my channel. I told them I love them because with laughing faces, because at this point I was like, hey, I'm getting engagement. Thank you. I wasn't wrong about you calling out Portlandia. And then so like when you do, let me see, one, two, three, four comments back to back to back on a video, like that's manic. That's you're not okay. Your MAGA hat isn't hiding your 70s bum lifestyle. Dude, get a job. And then they say, I worry a lot more about the elderly black woman with a walker that I sometimes give money to downtown. She has been robbed before. They just shoved her over, took everything she had. Probably it was someone like you. So at this point, like unhappy, miserable people need to project that out and they need to make everyone else unhappy and miserable. And so that's what they're trying to do. And because I am low hanging fruit, I'm a homeless white man, and white men are like the biggest friggin' enemy of the cultural conversation right now. I'm low hanging fruit, and they just need a win. And I want you to know I feel for you, Twister Tornado. I hope, I really do hope that you find some peace. Um, and then because I'm assuming because I didn't reply, they said, okay, that's more or less an admission of your guilt. You hurt elderly homeless people? Like, what in the world? Okay, that is it. Gosh, I don't even know where we started. Was it over here? Nope. Okay. But wow, Twister Tornado, I really hope that you get some help. Much love.